Hey y'all, welcome back to Babe and Library. Thank you all for joining. If you haven't, go ahead and click the subscribe button for more content. But today we are going to talk about October ought tos, right? So I know I've said 1,000 times I'm a mood reader, but there are certain things that I have to read before, like book clubs or arcs that I have. So I wanted to try my hand at a TBR for the month of October. We are already underway, but don't worry, I haven't done any spooky reads, which is today's primary video is going to be centered around. So the ought to reads, actually, let's just say the must reads, right? Things that I need to read in October. The first is going to be A Dowry of Blood by S.T. Gibson. I have been putting this off just because I couldn't get a physical copy. I didn't know where I was going to get an audio copy. But luckily, Hoopla came through for your girl. So I'm going to be reading that via audio format within the next few days. I hear that everyone loves it. It has like the lyrical aspect. I'm a sucker for Dracula, so just trying to figure out what the Bride of Dracula's letters are going to look like. So that is going to be my must read for this month. My second must read really should come as no surprise. It needs to be everyone's must read, and that is going to be The Weight of Blood by, the Queen, Tiffany D. Jackson. If you consider yourself a suspense, horror, thriller, psychological thriller fan, The Weight of Blood is for you. And personally, I stan Carrie. So if you're telling me that there's a book that's going to be Carrie-esque with a black female protagonist, sign me up. Here's my money. We're camping out. Luckily for me, I was actually one of the first people in my library to get it, but I said I'm gonna hold off. I wasn't really in the spooky mood yet, but best believe it will be read. A time will be had, and of course, I'm going to love it because there's very few things that Tiffany puts out that I'm not here for. So that's gonna be a must read. Next, I want to start tackling or chopping down some of my physical TBR. So it's time. I need to read Verity by Colleen Hoover. This is the only other Colleen Hoover book that I have on my shelf. I have It Ends With Us, and I purchased Verity. And that's because the girlies wouldn't stop screaming. Like, y'all are up and down the internet with these two Coho books. And this is in the Black Girls Read 2 Facebook group, and it's there always, constantly. And so I'm tired of having FOMO. I need to read it. I need to see, do I believe the letter and the floorboards or the manuscript, whatever it is. I need to have an opinion. So I will be reading Verity by Colleen Hoover this month. Next is, I'll go over 2 arcs I received. One is certainly going to be read this month. Another one is tentative because it doesn't come out until 2023. So the first arc that I have that I probably need to be reading this month is going to be Imperfect Angel by Christy Barth. I'm going to put that up on the screen. This has the do I fall in love with an angel trope. We're going down to the pits of hell to confiscate something from a demon. I hear it's very Lucifer-esque, so like as in the TV show. So I am interested to see how that plays out. But I will be reading Imperfect Angel by Christy Barth this month and hopefully giving my review and loving it. But verdict is out. Now, right before I filmed this, I think I've got one of the best emails I could have got before doing this type of video. I just got approved for an arc of Blood Depths by Terry J. Benton Walker. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. This is beautiful. I don't need to say anything else. Like, I don't really need to give you a description because this is gorgeous. Like, I gotta read it. It doesn't come out till 2023, and this is about witches and warlocks, I believe. I'll also link in the description below the summary, but regardless, I saw it, I want it, I got it. Can't tell me nothing. So hopefully that's going to be a bonus read if I do get to it this month. Now, being that I'm loading up my TBR, I also need some quick, easy, smutty novella reads. So, the queen of spicy Halloween November, or spooky novellas is going to be Miss Shay Sanders. She's got 3 on the bucket list that I need to read. Trick, Treat, and Trapped. Trifecta. So I plan on reading Trick. I believe that is the first one. And then a companion or a sequel to that would be Treat. And then Trapped is completely different. That is a paranormal erotica. So I will be reading those 3 from Shay Sanders. And hopefully that like spirals and gets me into my Shay Sanders backlist. And I'll just go through her entire catalog. But those are, all 3 of them are Halloween or spooky inspired reads that I think I should be able to read, knock out really quickly. The next novella that I'm going to read for the spooky Halloween feels is going to be Scream for Us, which is a reverse harem Halloween book, and that is by Molly Doyle. I've seen a number of people read this in the previous years, and I've been holding off. I was like, I've got to read it in October. I'm going to make sure if I don't read another novella after Shay's, I'm reading this, because I'm not gonna wait till October 2024. I'm gonna find a time to cram it in. So Scream for Us by Molly Doyle will also be read this month. Now, if you're like, Lisa, what more could you have to offer? Like, there's only so many days, sis. Don't you worry. Let that be my problem. Because I want to knock another thing off my Kindle list, and that is going to be Muscles and Monster by Ashley Bennett. So a lot of this is either like heavy, really dark, or spooky. I want something that's like light, fluffy, sweet monster romance. And what better way to get that in other than Muscles and Monsters, right? The cute monster werewolf falls in love with a baker and loves to like lick icing off of the cupcakes. I mean, help me help myself by reading this, because I'm going to need something a little bit lighter to get me through. And if I have any more time, which, again, we know that I don't, but if I have any more time, I've got 2 books that I can kind of, or 3 books, rather, that I can kind of chop away. I've been holding on to the X-Hex for, and I know this is shiny, for quite some time. I ought to read this. I've had it since it came out. It was a proof copy, so I have no excuse but to get to this. So this would be something, if I have the time, I will try to knock out. I haven't heard the most favorable things, but I guess I need to be the judge of that for myself. So the X-Hex is one. I'm sure y'all tired of hearing it, but I need to read Amari sequel. Amari and the Great Game by B.B. Austin has to be read. It came out last month. I pre-ordered it. It came to my doorstep. There should really be no excuse. So I need to kick it into gear, make sure that I'm reading this. So let's hope that I can get to it. And lastly, what I was kind of waiting on this video for, if the mood strikes me, right? Again, mood reader. So any of these I can pick up and put down when I need to. But the last book is going to be my book of the month. And no, I am not a sponsor. They're not sponsored. But I saw Sign here actually before it became a book of the month book. So I knew I wanted to wait to have it in my hands. Look, it is giving me very aesthetic vibes. This is about a main character who is responsible for attracting souls and signing contracts, and he needs one more to get a promotion. And so this is Halloween. this is what it is. This is Halloween. I wish I could play the music without being copywritten, but y'all know the vibes. That will conclude my spooky October aught-tos or hopefuls. In the comments below, put a pumpkin or a little evil emoji and tell me what you plan on reading for this October Halloween season. Happy haunting, everyone.